Okay, guys, I give you instruction in your corner. Let's have a clean match, okay? Good luck. Here is good. No, it's good. Not good, okay?
Jahi Tucker told us, look, the loss made me mature, so it was a good thing in a way because I got that pressure. After I got to the realization that my O is gone, it took something off, a weight off.
Well, I think it gave him a little humble pie, right?
Absolutely.
That's what it is.
Can't ever allow anybody to outwork him is what he said, and he comes out popping.
Yeah, he came out like he was going to do something, man. Right on up. That's funny.
El Bebu, Francisco Daniel Veron, he's 13-0 with 10 knockouts. He's considered one of the best up-and-coming fighters out of Argentina. If there was a Tim Bradley list of the double stamp fighters out of Argentina, El Bebu would be on it, according to the journalist out in Argentina.
Okay. I was like, no, he's not on it. It's my first time actually hearing of him, so we'll see how Veron does in this fight, in this matchup.
Well, there's a little bit of doubt from the fans, the betting public, Tim. Veron is now a -120 favorite, slightly favored over the +100 over on ESPN Bet.
Wow.
Look at me, okay? Take time, okay?
Really?
Referee Luis Pavon, the first warning for Jahi Tucker.
Both these guys are tall, long, and rangy. Veron, he likes to mix it up. He likes to use his height, but a lot of times he gives up his height because he likes to be aggressive. He likes to get in the inside and mid-range, and he likes to exchange and throw combinations.
Tucker said he wanted to come back with not an easy fight, but with a hard fight. He chose the number 5th ranked middleweight by the WBA, El Bebu Francisco Veron, who lands a nice overhand right. And Veron told me, look, I know that I'm in the ring against a young fighter who's hot at the moment, even though he's coming off his first loss, but I'm bigger and I'm stronger. I'm going to prove that in the ring.
And he's more active on his jab during this round. And that's the reason why he's able to dictate the pace and the distance at which this fight is being fought at as of now.
Tucker getting a little wild and loose with those shots. He's a little over anxious, I would say, Tim, to kind of make up for lost time.
He's a bit rusty. Say some ring rust thing. You know, he's not as sharp as I usually see him. The last time when he suffered his loss, he wasn't as sharp as I usually see him. You know, I thought it had a lot to do with the weight.
Ooh, nice left hook there from the Argentine who represented Argentina in the Tokyo Olympics. So he's got some amateur pedigree, over 140 fights.
And he's active. He's not smothering his combinations either, and he's just letting his hands go. And eventually, something would eventually land on Tucker. So what you're seeing with Tucker? Yes, he has good head movement, good upper body movement. But the thing is that he stays still when he's moving his head, and eventually something will find its way home. And that's why you saw right there Veron having success throwing those combinations. He was able to time and pinpoint the head of Tucker.
1-2 from Francisco Daniel Veron. We've seen all A's so far on the Tim Bradley report card.
He get a B+.
What's your report card?
He get a B+. He lost. He probably should have got an F, but I give him a B+. I'm being a little bit modest to these guys. You know, I can just tell you, he has an unorthodox style. I like his style. His rhythm is different. He kind of fights a bit off rhythm at times. Good combination puncher. We didn't see a whole lot of combinations in this round right here. It's the first round. But something he needs to work on. He needs to work on concentration. He loses concentration all the time throughout the course of fights. And plus, on top of that, discipline outside the ring. You know, I had a conversation with him through the lead up during this week, and I had a conversation about him, just about his discipline in general. You know, are you working hard? Are you staying out of trouble? Are you running? Are you doing the things necessary? Are you living like a Spartan, you know, in this game? Because if you're not, then what the hell are you doing it for? You only get one shot at this, buddy.
And he did not use the stool the entire 1 minute rest period here.
What I like about Tucker is that he believes in himself.
Yes.
Right? There's not a lot of guys that's willing to take risks. I like that he's willing to take risks, and he's betting on himself to get the job done. You know, and he's taking on a big challenge like this on his first fight back from suffering a loss.
Well, he said, look, they
Says
gave
a
me
lot about his character.
A list of 3 names, and I took the hardest one. And that says a lot about his character. It says about him trying to make up for lost ground, because he knows what having a 1 after that 10 means for his career. He's got to convince people that he is who we thought he was.
Yes.
Mark Krieger, what have you got to say about Jahi Tucker?
I've always liked Jahi from the time he took on Shekna or whatever his name was. That was an ambitious pick. You know, he's taking on the number 5 ranked guy now, coming off a loss. We always criticize fighters for passing on fights, for not being daring. Listen, if his management wants to pull him back, that's their business. But at least we know with this kid, he's going to say yes.
Yes.
And he's going to land that right hand on Francisco Daniel Veron here in the 2nd round. The fighter Mark mentioned is Nicolas Sekniashvili. April 1st in Tulsa was when Tucker won an 8-round unanimous decision in that very hard-fought battle. Nice left hook there from Veron, trying to set up that overhand right.
So, Veron, when he has success, it's going to be when Tucker, anytime Tucker decides not to throw any offense and just goes up into that shell like that and get defensive, he's going to be able to control everything. But the minute Tucker starts letting his hands go, Veron has to respect it. You see, he goes defensive. You know, so Tucker's going to have to remain busy if he wants to try to win this fight.
Okay, this is...
He's going to have to stay consistent if he wants to win this fight, because trust me, Veron's going to stay consistent. Look.
There's a 2nd warning for Jahi Tucker for punching on the break, and after the referee tries to step in, there Tucker lands a nice left uppercut.
See, and Tucker, he's getting beat in the jab department as well. And he's putting himself in bad positions when he's moving his head side to side and around. He's getting caught up in bad positions. Landing some offense from that position though now. But Veron is steady. He's steady with his attack.
Nice right uppercut once again from Jahi Tucker, as Veron opens up so much when he throws that left.
Well, and he leans forward too. That's a punch that's open for Tucker, is the right uppercut or left uppercut. Although Veron is tall and he has long arms, he still reaches with his punches at times, and he leans forward over that front knee.
Let's listen in to McCunnan Tucker, the father of Jahi and his trainer.
All right, here what I'm going now. Mr. Makai, yo, y'all stay there too long with him. Mr. Master, stop staying there, you understand? Let's keep moving, how you feel? All right. Don't forget to bring Mississippi, baby, okay? All right? Hey, yo, keep the job running. Hey, yo, you say, come on, use the job faster. More than 1 and 2 slow, Mr. Master. Hey, yo, whenever you better use uppercut. And double up with the body then to the head, you understand? Then right back to the job, don't wait. Don't give him so much time. Great Mississippi's important, okay? You standing there too long. Hey, yo, stop going back and forth with him, holding back, whatever, but don't go back and forth with him, you understand? All right, let's go, champ. Hey, it's it.
We heard the voice of his Jamaican father, McCunnan Tucker, and also Terry Simpson. For moments, Tim, his head was kind of on a swivel.
Absolutely. Right there, that last round, what you saw in that replay, you saw Veron. That's the veteran tactics. That's a guy with experience. You saw him roll that right hand coming from Tucker. Took some of the steam off that punch by rolling his head with it.
Do you know why they nicknamed Francisco Veron Bebu?
Bebu? No.
It means big baby.
Oh, no, we already had a big baby.
No, but
The real
he
big
weighed 12.1 pounds when he was born. That's why they nicknamed him Big
That boy
Baby.
was big. That boy was big.
Absolutely.
Again, the consistency of Veron. Looking for the fight. It's going to be tough, you know, because what Tucker's going to have to do, he's either going to have to box, keep moving, using his jab and keeping Veron off, or he's going to have to match that work that he's doing. He's going to have to work that. He's going to have to match the activity. Put it that way.
Well, he got outworked in his last and first loss against Nicholas Floss on
Big
July
right hand.
1st. And at the end of the day, that's the decision that Tucker's going to have to make in this fight. Is he going to learn his lesson, or is he going to think that he can outbox a very rugged Daniel Veron? And Tim, we already saw what happened with Tiger Johnson. He got a split decision against Espinoza. Jimmer was the more aggressive fighter, so we know what those judges like here in this fight.
Oh, absolutely. Again, you know who's staying more consistent right now. It's Veron. He's staying consistent. He can maintain this pace throughout these 8 rounds. See, Jahi ain't never felt this type of resistance before. You know,
Nice left.
that's the reason why. That's the reason why Veron is rated so high, because he's felt this type of resistance. But good comeback right here from Jahi Tucker right now, fighting back and finding his spots.
Oh, that's a nice right from Veron. Jahi Tucker had landed the right moments before that. They're answering each other's salvos.
You want to know why they have to, right? Small ring.
16 by 16.
Ain't nowhere to hide, baby.
No choice but to fight. And
That
guess
solves
what?
all your problems.
We love it.
Oh, every fight has been very competitive tonight, I thought. Ooh. Some one-sided than others, but, you know, they've been fighting back. Both guys have been having success.
Nice body work there from Veron.
See,
Trying to set up that right, though.
Again, all that head movement looks flashy. You know, we look at Pernell Whitaker and all that stuff, but look, there's no offense coming off of that. You're a sitting duck. You're getting timed when you're doing all that head movement, especially from a little bit out too far.
There you see the activity of Veron. 4 or 5 punch combinations, shaking the head of Jahi Tucker here, and he's complaining about the head usage from Jahi Tucker here. Blue chip prospect Bruce Shoo Carrington, just as calm as can be as he's getting his hand wrapped. He will be taking on El Alacrancito Sanchez. That'll be the last fight before we move over to ESPN for Xander Zayas against Portea and the world title fight. Robesi Ramirez defending his WBO featherweight belt against Rafael Espinosa. All right, Tim, let's take a look at the right hands that these fighters exchange.
Both guys exchanging right hands right here. Again, you see Veron rolling with that right hand, taking some of the steam off that punch, but then he gets caught and he lands the right hand of his own. As you see Tucker right here, just dropping that lead hand, leaving a window of opportunity for Veron to throw and land his right hand. Again, taking advantage of those positions, those bad positions that I see Tucker always put himself into. You know, just trying to bob and weave and just make punches miss. But what are you doing it for? You got to understand that. What are you doing it for? Make it a definitive move and then counter.
Nice.
It's important to do that.
You see Veron off to a quick start, picking up in the 4th round where he finished off the 3rd. And look, I've seen Luis Pavon referee before. He does not mess around, and his patience is wearing thin with Jahi Tucker's tactics.
And seeing Jahi, if you want to slow down a fast motor like this, you got to go to the body.
Yep.
You don't see him committing with any kind of body work. He's head hunting. And good defense right there from Veron, showing that he's slippery as well. But then he comes back with offense.
Tucker having a hard time finding Veron here in the 4th round. There's a nice jab.
Good jab. But again, these shots seem like they're pushing. They're snapping. They're not snapping punches coming from Tucker. They're pushing punches. Not a lot of pop and steam on his punches at all.
See what Veron can put together with that left uppercut. Nice uppercut there from Jahi Tucker. Nice. That uppercut sequence from Veron was very effective.
Coming around the guard, coming underneath the guard, then stepping off on the angle, getting on the outside, changing his angle, and then firing the right hand afterwards. It's good boxing right here from Veron.
Nice. That uppercut he's finding a home for, Tim.
Oh, you can't miss, especially when you have a bobber in there. He's like a bobby, keep bobbing his head left, right, up.
He's got a time where it's going to be.
Dude, come on. Whack-a-mole, bro. Whack-a-mole. Whack-a-mole. Bam. There it is. Ooh, caught
Nice
coming
counter
in.
right. Ooh, both fighters exchange right hands. Veron seems to have got the best of the exchange, and Tucker has to hold on. Just when you thought Tucker was going to get a little bit of momentum going, Veron snaps a right hand right on his face.
Hey, listen to me. No. Hey,
I'm telling you, Pavon is going to take a point away from Jahi Tucker before this fight is over. But then he's like, hey, Veron, quit trying to play me. This is fighting. Nice short left hook from Francisco Veron. The right hand, as always, efficient.
Uh-oh. Veron starting to go down to that body of Tucker.
That's something he's never felt before, Tim.
Tucker's going down memory lane right now. He's been reminded of his last fight. He's felt this type of resistance in a way. Not as strong as Veron, but trust me, he's been here before. He has. And he has to make a choice tonight, people. He's going to have to figure it out because this is going to be his last opportunity if he doesn't.
One man who will have a lot of opportunities if he continues winning is Xander Zayas, the undefeated future of Puerto Rican boxing. Just lives 15 minutes away. Is already ranked #2 as a junior middleweight by the World Boxing Organization. And guess what? He's in the house right here in Pembroke Pines inside the Charles F. Dodge City Center. And let's take a look at what he's done to build his way here. The Quincy Lavallée fight was a step-up fight, and since then, victories by stoppage against Elias Espadas and those 2 decisions against Alexis Salazar and Ronald Cruz led to his impressive knockout win last September 15th against Roberto Valenzuela Jr. And he just continues to prove why everyone is so high on him, Tim.
Look, started when he was in high school. Professional. Had the mindset, had the discipline, trains like a beast, has skill. But the thing that he was missing was his physicality. Now that he's 21 years old, it's all came together. That's the reason why he was able to deliver that knockout against Valenzuela Jr.
Round 5 of a scheduled 8-rounder here. Jahi Tucker having to find a way to derail El Bebu, Francisco Daniel Veron, the #2 ranked fighter by the WBO at 160 pounds. And you see the quick hands and the power behind Veron, who is not allowing Tucker to get comfortable at all, Tim.
That blue pin I be telling you guys about?
Yeah.
That's coming. I see it coming right now. That blue pin is coming for Jahi Tucker. And it's going to come in the locker room. That's real talk. And what I'm referring to is that release. That release from your contract. He's going to have to figure out a way to get himself into this fight.
Tim, there's only one way to do it.
He has to let his hands go. He got to let his hands go.
He's
and
got
not
to
sit
commit.
still. And he can't sit still.
His right eye is now starting to swell. As a left hook of Veron finds a home. Tucker's trying to hold on here. Veron not allowing it. Tucker showing heart with that right hand as he once again connects on the chin of Veron, who is quite sturdy.
See, when Tucker decides to turn it on, he can turn it on. You know, he can throw snapping combinations like that.
That's too
But it's not
right
enough. But it's not enough. It's not enough.
Is it temperament, Tim?
Yes. Conditioning, too.
Ooh, nice combination, right, left. But then he goes right back against the ropes and allows Veron to regroup when he had him off of that shot.
Oh, because he can't maintain the pace. It's the pace. It's the fast pace.
Another right. But it's one at a time, Tim. He can get himself back in the fight. Will he? That is the question. Those are snapping right hooks that he's able to land on Veron here. Body work from Tucker. Veron answers, but that right hand from Tucker just cannot miss with it here in the 5th round.
See, if I'm Tucker, I'm looking for the left hook. The right hand, he's rolling. So I would throw the right hand and I would turn him right into that left hook. You know, I see that a couple of times. I'm like, oh, I know what you're going to do. I'm going to throw the right handed, but I'm going to come behind with the left hook.
Instead, it's Veron landing the left hook, then following up with a right. Nice combination here from
Combination coming
Tucker.
back.
That's
Yes.
what he needs to get himself back in this fight against Francisco Daniel Veron. Veron looking quite tired.
Load out there. Oh, look at me. God sent you here. You hear me? Look at me. Yo, good move. To me, but you got the same thing. Keep the jab arm though. You know why you're not landing that uppercut? You ain't touching with the jab first. Okay. You hear me? And touch it to the body right up in here. Yo, and look at me. Stay around the court. Stay stepping around him and holding him. As soon as you hold him, let him go hit him. Hold him, hit him. You understand?
The right hands of Tucker were effective, but how about the left hook from Francisco Daniel Veron that we saw here in that 5th round, Tim?
It's been a really good punch for him this entire fight right there. You see, again, the young gun pulling straight up along those ropes, getting caught on the way up. What goes down must comes up, and guess what? I'm going to meet you with that left hook, and that's what Veron did right there. Great placement by Veron, and timing by him as well.
You are the anti-Newton.
The anti-Newton.
Because it's what goes up must come down.
What goes down must come up.
In boxing terms, it is that.
Ooh, he hurt him with that. He didn't hurt him, but I saw them legs buckle. See, when you see a fighter's legs kind of buckle or drop just for a split second, he was buzzed for a moment. He was like, he was here, but he wasn't.
There's that jab from Tucker.
Tucker looking a little bit lively this round. Isn't he coming out a little bit more aggressive, right?
That's what his father asked him to. Let's see if he listens to him and goes to the body. And it looked like Veron was fatigued as he was going back to his corner there after the 5th round. A minute, though, Tim, will do wonders. And if you can land a left hook like Veron just did and follow it up with a right, you can take Tucker back into questioning why he's in here tonight.
Absolutely, and land shots like that, uppercuts. Veron right now tying up for like one of the first times I've seen him actually commit to tie up.
Nice body work from Veron as Tucker tried to tie up. He says, before you get to hug me, you got to take this to the liver.
Look at the jab. Look at the jab of Veron. You're wondering why he's having success with it was his power shots. It's because of the jab.
There's that lead right hand for Veron. And you heard McCunn Tucker ask Jahi, you're going to set up a shot, but it has to be off the jab.
Again, you see who's in position to throw punches. Tucker's not in position to be able to throw punches. A lot of times he's not. Veron is.
Ooh, what a beautiful.
Yep.
He swept his body down and then landed a right uppercut, and that one hurt Tucker.
And he stepped around.
Yes.
He pivoted around him, then placed that right uppercut. It's the subtleties, the nuance in this round from Veron. Again, experience. You understand why he's rated so high.
That's right from Tucker, but he took a left at the same time.
Yep, right to the liver, too.
Yep. I mean, you look at how Tucker's coming into him, and he's trying to move his head, but his hands are completely out. Look at that.
Funny when people, I used to do that when I used to move my head. My trainer used to say, why are you moving your head to the left, but your hands are going right?
Man. And Veron sees that and he takes advantage of it.
Yeah.
Ooh, nice left. Tucker had landed a nice shot as well. It's just the volume of Veron, the accuracy, the power behind his shots here. Tucker's really going to have to bear down when round 7 comes along.
And the good footwork as well. He has good footwork. Footwork is decent.
Got nothing for you. Don't give him nothing. Bro, listen to me, Sam. Hey. You don't want to know what you're going through, all right? Let's go. Hear me? Yo, look at me. On him. You got to use that up, down now. Up, down, up, down. One to finish, bro. One down there, one more down there.
The body language is very different in both corners, but Tim, it's not just that you land a left hook like Veron did, it's how you set it up that makes it special.
Absolutely. You see right here, Veron stepping back, bouncing off the ropes. You see this nice little step around pivot, bow. Short uppercut right up the middle. Look how he gets around. Attacks that weak side, plants that back foot, and extends with the uppercut. Tucker never saw it coming. Never saw that punch coming.
Tim, he thought he was safe.
Oh,
and he wasn't.
He wasn't safe, no.
And here
Again,
they come.
That was good footwork right there.
Yes.
From Veron.
Probably the most underrated part of his game coming into this fight.
Yeah.
But he's an Olympian. He represented Argentina in Tokyo 2020 games. So you don't just get there if you don't have some skill.
Oh, you gotta have skill to get there. Skill, mental toughness, conditioning. You gotta have heart. I mean, you gotta have everything to get to the Olympics, man.
And he's WBA number 5 at 160 pounds. So you're seeing why, Veron. If there was a Tim Bradley out in Argentina, it would be the Tim Bradley Argentinian double stamp prospect.
He's nice. I have to say, he's nice. He's nice. I'm impressed with him tonight. Really am.
Spoken of very highly among the Argentinian insider boxing circles. And now you see why. And this isn't even his weight, Tim. He had to come down 6 pounds because he's a natural middleweight.
Hey, look at him using his legs. See, that's a different element right there. You know, he was marching forward and just taking advantage of the lows of Tucker. But now he's using his legs, trying to fight a little bit off the back foot. I would love to see if he can use his jab. Ooh, nice counter right hand, short from Veron.
Oh, that's a nice 1-2.
Good hook coming back right here from. Look at the heart showing out right now, showing up.
Veron got caught against the ropes. That's not where he does his best work, Tim. If Tucker can pin Veron against the ropes, he's going to have success. But that's easier said than done. Veron's got good feet, and he's always throwing punches.
Switch southpaw, went back orthodox, shifted. Ooh, hook to the body, too, as Tucker came in. Ooh,
nice
big
shot
shot.
from Tucker.
Veron could take a punch, too.
Yep. Trained by his father, Francisco Veron, who was a fighter himself. He started boxing at age 13, following his brother Luis Veron to the gym. He's a physical education student out in Argentina. You know why he's looking good right now, Tim? Because since November 11, he went to LA and got elite sparring. Virgil Ortiz, Gio Cabrera, Raul Curiel. He was at the Wildcard Gym at RGBA, and you see the progress in his style.
That's what it's all about. Iron sharpens iron. You know, you got to get the best work out there, so that way you know where you're at.
Ooh, nice right hand from Jahi Tucker.
Confidence as well. Not only your confidence, but also your skill too.
His father told me that's when we realized we belong at this level, when we could hang with Virgil Ortiz, when we could hang with Gio Cabrera.
Listen, whenever you get him in the corner, body double up and get your head off the line. Listen, smart, but boxing rumble. Smart boxing rumble, you understand me? Get it out. Just touch him. You don't have to knock him out. Just touch him. You know, when you turn that hip right through, when you get him on the rope, you got to land up, down. You understand me? Come back with a jab. Yeah, but listen to me. You want him up? Yeah. Listen to me. Step over when you get him in the corner and start doubling and tripling. All right? 1 second. Yo, step on him. Nah, we don't got him there. We want him. Yo, I love you. Listen to me. Just keep stepping to your right. Use up now when you get him on the rope and start doubling up that jab. I'm telling you. See me? Hard right hands, you know what I'm saying? Don't give them nothing, champ.
Two fathers working the respective corners of their sons. McCunnan Tucker tells him, I love you, but I need you to pin him in the corner and work those right hands. And Francisco Daniel Veron's father, Francisco Sr., he was calm over there in the corner, Tim.
Because he likes what he sees. I mean, he knows he's in total control. He feels that his fighter's doing very well, his son's doing very well, and he's winning this match right now. He just can't get lackadaisical, and he should have told him that, hey, Tucker's going to try to bring everything he possibly can this round. So play defense, play defense.
I think you got to play offense with Tucker, because if you let him get ahead of steam, he's going to do that. And he's off to a great start here in the 8th round for Jahi Tucker.
You can do both.
Yeah?
You can do both.
Veron needs to continue using his legs.
So the thing is that the reason why I say you can use both is because you can use his aggression against him. You can set traps. You can lay traps for him. See, as he's rushing in, he's making mistakes. And you got to look for those moments. You got to remain calm, be defensively sound, and look for those moments. I always tell you guys, anytime a fighter throws a punch, there's an opening up the middle. Every single time. It never changes.
Veron getting a little wild there with that left hook. Tucker unable to capitalize on it. But you see how he's lunging. We mentioned that probably around round 5, Tim, that he was lunging. And here, you know, it may be fatigue.
Yeah.
Because he's opening himself up more than he has the entire fight. I'm talking about Veron. If Tucker sees it, he could take advantage of it, but he's got to shorten up his shots too.
But Tucker's lunging forward too.
Yeah.
And, you know, he's trying to get to Veron right now. He's not using his jab though. He got to find a way to close the distance behind a punch. He's just trying to close the distance behind his head movement.
Yeah. Jahi landed a nice right uppercut. Nice body shot there from Tucker. Counter right and left.
Again, he's entering into that mid-range, but he's throwing punches. Anytime he enters into that mid-range and he doesn't throw punches and he just uses head movement, he's going to get hit.
There's a nice combination from Tucker.
And the same thing could be said about Regis Prograde tonight against Devin Haney. If he just used that head movement and stay at out range like that, he's going to get ate up.
We'll have a special The State of Boxing after that fight to talk about what happened with the junior welterweight title fight.
Good.
Nice left hook from Jahi Tucker after Veron opened up.
So see what you're seeing right now, you're seeing both men trying to hold it together. They're battling each other, but they're also battling themselves. They're feeling fatigued right now. They're trying to hold it and keep it together.
You know why they're not hurting each other? Because those are all arm punches too.
Yeah.
But it's all due to the fatigue.
Yep.
But they're laying it all on the line, and that's what you want to see from two young fighters. Jahi Tucker, 10-1. Francisco Daniel Veron putting his undefeated record on the line at 13-0. A very close fight.
He's nice. I like Veron. He looked really nice tonight. He brings a lot to the table. Has really good size, decent power, great boxing ability, good legs. He's shown a little bit of everything tonight. And he can fight. He's tough. Can take a punch as well.
The Olympian from Argentina. Now let's take a look at a lot of the highlights we saw tonight.
Yeah, it was a good competitive fight. It was going back and forth early on. You know, Jahi Tucker was having his moments, but Veron, I mean, he's just dictating the pace, fighting off his jab, found his mark, and just taking advantage again of that defense of Tucker. See, just because you move your head, I get it, but why are you moving your head, folks, at home? You know, when you're moving your head in 4 or 5 different spots, you put yourself in a bad position. All your opponent has to do is let his hands go. Exactly what you see right here from Veron, just letting his hands go from right where they were, and he was able to find his mark every single time. Good matchup. I think Veron probably took this match, but we shall see.
Yeah, I think it's going to be a close fight, maybe 5-4. I mean, 5-3 rounds here in favor of Francisco Daniel Veron, but Jahi Tucker really closed strong.
He finished strong,
It
but
could be a draw.
you bit off. Look, you can sometimes bite off more than you can chew.
Yeah.
You know, you young, you stubborn, you want to get to the top fast. You take the risk, and sometimes you're successful and sometimes you're not. So Jahi, if he don't get this victory tonight, I mean, he took the risk, but there's consequences to come along with that as well. Because you know what they're going to say. We told you not.
Sometimes you got to protect the fighter from himself. Own aggressiveness, his own impetuousness. And
yes. I love the desire, though.
Yeah.
Love the desire, love the nature, but the skill set and the conditioning and everything else that goes along with this sport is not there just yet. The maturity from this young man is not there yet. So
he's very ambitious.
Yes.
But Francisco Daniel Veron is the number 5th ranked middleweight by the WBA for a reason. Will he maintain that designation, or did Jahi Tucker take his spot? Let's send it up to Mark Chinook.
Ladies and gentlemen, after 8 rounds here inside the Charles F. Dodge City Center, we go to the judges' scorecards for the official decision. Rocky Young has the bout 77-75 in favor of Tucker. Efrain LeBron and Michael Tate both have it 76-76, declaring this bout a majority draw.
Well, one gave it to Jahi Tucker, two had it a draw. I told you it could be a draw just because it was such so many back and forth rounds. I had Francisco Daniel Veron winning this fight 77-75 for whatever that's worth.
Well, I can tell you that